Hello, today we're going to look at the PRISM map with particular emphasis on the discerning and dynamic axis. Before I do that, a quick recap: underlying line, natural behaviours; adapted line, behaviours that you're likely to adapt to use at work; consistent line, how others are likely to see you. And those are the lines we'll look at when we look at the discerning and dynamic axis. The discerning and dynamic axis, so the dynamic axis is behaviours that are on this line here, this diagonal line here between red and green, and discerning this line here, gold and blue. And they are dichotomies, they're opposites. And the easy way to remember the hallmarks of the behaviours on each of those axes is S, D, C and R. Speed, decisions, change and risk, because they both embrace those in different ways. So the dynamic axis, if we look at the dynamic axis, fast moving, very speed oriented, fast paced, fast moving, quick decisions, embraces change, likes change because it's new, it's energetic and takes risk. Discerning axis, much slower, much more astute in their thinking, much more discerning. Decisions like to be based on data and people. You're not that comfortable with change and unlikely to take risks unless they're really calculated. So looking at the map, what do we see? We see dynamic. Yes, we could see some behaviours there when we look at the underlying line, and we can see some behaviours on the discerning, probably more dynamic than discerning. When we look at the adapted line, we can see that actually, interestingly, the behaviours on the discerning axis have been shrunk in, but the behaviours on the dynamic axis are still very much in evidence. So this person's behaviour at work is much more on the dynamic axis, so likely to be more fast-paced, making quick decisions, liking change and taking risks. That's moving away from their natural behaviour, which is more balanced. Important to know where you actually are, because that gives you the opportunity to flex and adapt to suit different people in different situations. Quick snapshot. Obviously, in a feedback session, you'd be taking far more than that in and asking lots of questions. But it's just important to recognize it's all about understanding where you are so you know where to put more energy.